So I'm back at the Mystery Lake camp office, and there is, let's just say, a very motionless moose right outside. And by right outside, I mean it's just literally right up the hill. It's absurd how close this moose is. This run just gained some fresh padding, to say the very least, at least for a little while. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of, oh look, a whetstone, The Long Dark, in our Against All Odds series. So before I go out there, I think what I would like to do is gather some wood. The sun isn't quite up yet, so I won't be able to break just anything down. I've got a book to start a fire with, and I've got some sticks. So we can at least get a fire going that will last a little while. Yeah, let's go ahead and just use some sticks first. Maybe I shouldn't have turned that lantern out just yet, but okay, there we go. Because this carcass has been sitting out in the cold, so we're going to need to warm it up in order to effectively harvest it, especially quickly. But this is really nice because it's a really good location to leave a moose hide to cure while we go and do other things. And I want to get that hide as quickly as possible. All right, the sun is about to rise, so we're going to be able to go back inside and get more wood for this fire that we're going to start. The weather doesn't look amazing, so I need to be careful about that. Also, let me not just assume that I'm safe. You're only, like, halfway to the end of the temperature meter, Jennifer. Don't be so dramatic. It's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine. Okay. So, yeah, the problem with like starting a fire right here, right now, is that it's not really protected from the wind at all, and it seems like it is getting windier. So that's a bit of a problem. How long would it take to quarter this? 2 hours period, no matter what. That is probably going to be the solution. Not going to lie. I don't think, especially because I have the health to lose, I just don't think that it makes sense to try to get a fire going, given that we've already got some wind. Okay, yeah. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to go back. We're going to drop a bunch of stuff. Like a bunch of stuff. Like an absurd amount of stuff. So that we can bring as much back with us in one run as we can. But I also will probably sleep for an hour. Okay, so there is one thing I can go ahead and grab right now, which is that. And I'll probably just go ahead and put it upstairs, because we're going to be doing some cooking. Plenty of it. Anyway, well, first of all, there's no need to burn lantern fuel right now. Let's put that away. Let's open the file cabinet, and sorting by weight, we have so much to put away. I'm just going to go in order of just the heaviest stuff. I'll keep the revolver on me just in case I need to fend off any wolves that get unexpectedly close. But we can drop the pry bar, we can drop the insulated flask. I'll be putting those down in a moment. We can drop the reishi mushrooms. Tell you what, let's go category by category. Drop all the books. And go ahead and drop the sticks as well. Oh, that's a full container there. Okay, I can take those off.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
The storm lantern, I don't really need it right now either, because it's getting lighter, and we just need to put it aside while we get this done. So, tools, bedroll. It's weird because I just so rarely think about dropping any of this stuff. So my reflexive sort of choice for everything I'm looking at is to go, no, keep it. And that's partly because I'm just a more mobile player, and partly because, well... Oh dear, hold on. Need to get my way back to that. There we go. It's darker in here than I thought it was. I thought I had a bit more daylight. That's partly because I'm just a more nomadic player. Well, the sun is up. Let's just break this down. But it's also just because I tend to hold on to more stuff than I need. Okay, so we've got a little bit of wood there. I'm going to come up here and set some things down on the stove. Can we place the bloody... Hold on. Let's see if they fixed this yet. Nope, they didn't. Okay, great. Great. Eventually, we'll be able to place that like normal people, but for now, we can't. Does this just literally not sit on top of the stove? That's a shame. All right, let's double check what we got in here. Don't need any of that. Yep. All right, let's go back out there. I guess I will go ahead and rest up because I'm going to need as much health and temperature protection as I can get. So let's go for 2 hours. I wish... It's funny that I opened the episode talking about how close the moose is. Because it's close, but it's like farther up the slope than I realized. And as a consequence of that... Let's see, I've got this wood on me, and I might want to try and heat it up just for the sake of quartering it faster. Okay. As long as this doesn't turn into a problem too quickly. The wind has actually died down a bit. Okay, cattail head. Not going to worry about accelerant. Let's use... Did I really drop the book too? I guess I did. We'll use the stick. I so rarely quarter any carcasses, but it makes sense to do it in this case. Otherwise, this is just going to be a very frustrating harvesting run. Like grabbing a little bit of it at a time. Alright, so that is going to start warming the moose up. Let me go grab some more sticks for that fire so it works a little bit faster. Thankfully, there are plenty nearby. Okay, there are also some limbs nearby, but I don't want to pass that much time because this weather is not looking ideal. So we want to try and get this done quickly-ish. Alright. Not really warming the carcass that quickly. If I had more coal to get the fire hotter faster, I'd be fine. But I have no coal. None. It's possible I might have set some down in here. Let's go check real quick. I'm pretty sure I would have used it all and left it at the forge. But let's double check. Alright, none there. None there. What about up here? Nope. We have that book, but that won't do as much. Yep. All those training manuals. Nothing in this cupboard at all. Yeah, and we've got things we can break down for wood, but nothing that I can just pick up and take with me, unfortunately. How long would this take? 49 minutes? Don't have that kind of time. I'm concerned about the weather getting more obnoxious. Oh, I haven't checked the first aid kit yet.
This will come in handy.
Thanks for that useless antiseptic game. Appreciate you so much. 49 minutes for 3 pieces, or 29 minutes for 3 pieces. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, well that's an improvement. I'll take it. The weather went in the opposite direction. to what appeared to be happening. Plus, we've given the carcass a little bit of extra time to thaw, so let's see how it's doing. 72% frozen, excuse me. Alright, so if we use the hacksaw now, I can go ahead and take a couple of moose steaks off of it, and I want to do that. I can start cooking them, too, on the fire. There we go. How much time do we have on the fire? 2 hours? Okay. It's an outdoor fire, so that estimate's always going to be a little bit off. But while we're waiting for this to cool down, we can definitely do some more harvesting. Or rather, to warm up, not to cool down. Actually, you know what? Let me... We're going to run back and kind of leave this closer to the office. That way, if it pulls any wolves while I'm over here, I'll be able to spot them from afar, take them out. Alright, you can definitely tell that the carcass is thawing, so that's helpful. We've got 33 minutes left on those cooking jobs, and now... Yeah, it's going to take 2 hours no matter what. I'm not... See, I quarter carcasses so rarely that I don't even know if thawing it completely was useful. But the fire at least will cover me for that amount of time. And then I can move everything. So, I don't want to do it right now because those have another 30 minutes. So tell you what. Let's go ahead and use the hacksaw. Hopefully I won't regret this. Because it is 30 minutes of time. And the weather can change just as quickly as it changed a moment ago. Okay. Now I'll be able to snack on a little bit of the meat. So it doesn't seem to be attracting any attention from afar. There is a wolf over there, but not close enough. So the wolf patrol routes around the office don't seem to have changed that much, which is nice. All right, let's chow down on that. Oh, did we just have the entire thing? Holy crap, we did. Okay. All right, we'll eat that. And then drop that in the snow. And now we're going to go. We have an hour and 52 minutes. Now, we do not have anything to drink at the moment, but that is fixable. Well, kind of. I think I'd rather just take the condition loss. Let's go ahead and get this thing quartered. Doesn't matter which tool. We'll use the hacksaw to do it. Weather is changing. That's suboptimal. I just don't need it to change too quickly. Looks like the fire is staying up. Perfect. All right, I got one moose quarter. Nice movement speed. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Alright, I did lose some condition due to that thirst problem, so I'll have to be mindful of that. Tell you what, we have a couple things we can do. First of all, let's chow down on the cooked moose meat. Drop that there. Grab the hide.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Grab a couple of the quarters. Now, this is going to slow me down more and make me stinkier. So I could attract some attention here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and drink one. Or drop. Drink one? Hadrian, what are you saying? I'm going to drop one. So that I can move quickly.
Mouth so dry.
Yeah, I do need a beverage. And the thing is, I have a beverage. So let's step inside. Now that we've got that done, and we don't have as much to lug around, I can grab a few things out of the drawer. Specifically, I can grab this insulated flask. Let's also go ahead and drop a few other things that need to be curing anyway, because I've been slow on a few things. So we're going to drop these birch saplings on the ground. The moose hide can just go right in the middle of the room. Birch saplings up on the countertop. Perfect. And with that, what do we got? Nice. So I don't need the coffee to be warm right now. I just need it to quench some thirst. Perfect. Okay. Recovered a bit of energy as well. So we still have to break these individual pieces of the carcass
I
down
wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
and cook them, which we're going to want to do because cooking skill. We're going to want to use the stove upstairs. But for now, I just need to get this stuff a little bit closer. Yeah, I really... At the beginning of the episode, I underestimated how far away this particular moose carcass was. I thought it was closer. Okay, I've just picked up 2 for the sake of maybe being a little bit more efficient. It's hard to tell if it actually is more efficient or not. Because, on the one hand, if I dropped 1, it's almost like I move twice as fast. It's not literally twice as fast, but it feels that way. And also, I'm giving off more scent right now, so I'm more likely to be attracting attention while I do this. And then, of course, I'm dropping these decoys, which has a similar potential to be problematic. Let me go wide really quick and see if a wolf is coming. Yep. Oh, hello. Doesn't see me. Doesn't see me. You snooze, you lose. Oh, wait. Did not mean to hit that. The G key? Interesting. The G key pulls up the recipe book.
Not sure I can carry much more.
I didn't know that. Okay, well, I'm doing the same thing again, which is nice and smart, but that's the only wolf that came in. So if there's another one, I guess I'm about to find out. That is the upside to what I'm doing. I lose the movement speed, and it's a little bit less efficient, but it does lure in wolves from a distance, and they don't necessarily come straight to me because, let's face it, these moose sacks, which, for better or worse, is what we're going to call them, these moose sacks are very, very, very stinky. So they go for those first. I think we might have the beginning of some fog rolling in, which temperature-wise is good. Alright, this is going to be incredibly stinky, but I will not be able to... Or I will actually be able to move a little faster, so that's good. Let's go ahead and drop the quarter, and I'll grab that fresh gut, step inside, and now the work begins, because we don't have to go back and forth anymore. Let's step up here. One thing I'm kind of surprised I haven't found yet, which is another reason that I want to go to Milton before too much time passes, is we have not actually found the woodworking tools yet. Remember, this is the first series that I've done in Against All Odds with the base customization stuff that was added in the last Tales patch. And guess what? We got nothing for base customization at the moment, apart from just the pictures we can take off the wall and cleaning up junk and like the few things that we can build. A lot is kind of locked behind having the woodworking tools, which we haven't found yet, which hopefully will be in Melton, but we'll find out. Okay, so I'm going to do this one at a time. Before I do anything, actually, we need to prepare lots and lots of wood. So let's do that first. Try and be efficient about it. And we also don't want to waste time on the fire. So I'm not going to start this fire until we have meat ready to cook, which we already do, but not only do I want to be efficient with this, I want to be efficient with resources, but I also want to be efficient with time. I'm not going to worry too much about the light. Okay. Now, of course, with a fire started upstairs, I will be able to... All right, here we go. Yeah, with the fire started up here, I will be able to see stuff that I can break down up here. So let's go ahead and... Well, first, like I was saying, efficiency. Let's put all this down for a moment. I have 5 sticks. That'll help start the fire. I do need more to drink soon. But let me go ahead and grab at least one of those moose steaks, so that we've got that started. Nice. Okay. Back inside. Don't have all of the lamp oil in the world. Hey, a random recycled can. Don't remember the last time I ever saw one sitting there, but okay. And now we vibe. Because this is going to be a whole process. We'll take the 60% star chance. I don't want to use the one accelerant I have, since it's not an emergency. Yeah, here we go. Well, one thing I can do... There are some books right nearby. It would be silly of me not to use them for this exact purpose.
Need water.
Working on it. It's okay. I know that says 1 of 4 wood matches. Believe me, I have more. We have found plenty and used few.
Come on, little fire. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. First things first. Well, honestly, I needed to cook the... I needed to do water there, but it's okay. Let's pass time on that. Drink that. Let's see. I'm going to go grab a few more pieces of meat so that we are ready to go with a few more. And then we just need to start breaking down these moose quarters. So
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
let's come right back upstairs. It's actually a pretty good torch. I'll extinguish that. Moose quarter. I'll keep the rest of it on me. And then I suppose what I can do is we'll just go ahead and melt some snow there. It's not ideal, but okay. Plenty of reclaimed wood. Let's pile that on the fire. I've got 6 hours. Plenty of time. And this is where I just want to be as careful as I can be. So, what would it take... Nice. Alright, so if I use the hacksaw, It is frozen, but if I keep these near the fire, they will thaw. So I should probably bring them all up. Yeah, that's cooking. That's melting. Okay, cool. In that case, here's what I'll do. Let's take another torch. And I will just grab, maybe not all of the rest of them, because they're too heavy. Can you tell how rarely I actually quarter carcasses? The system has been in the game for literal years, but this is such a good time to do it. We're still pretty early in the series. We've got a moose hide curing, so it passes some of the time while it starts to cure. And then we have somewhere else to go while it cures, which is also good. All right, that's still going, so let's head back downstairs, grab a few more. I'm still a little bit nervous about other wolves that might be nearby, but that's one of the reasons we brought everything so much closer in. Because it's just less of a threat. It's less of a problem. If there's a wolf nearby, I can grab the stuff and dip right back inside and not worry about it too much. Okay, we'll put that away. What are we looking at? 20 minutes till ready. I suppose I can just keep doing what I'm doing. I don't even need to have a torch to get down here. Cougar warning flyer. A flyer with details on Great Bear Island cougar activity. You may hear a cougar before you see it. Watch for fresh kills. A cougar may be near. Leave its territory to reduce risk of attack. Okay. The cougar hasn't actually arrived yet. But that's a nice way to keep me feeling scared, game. Appreciate you. Alright, we're going to grab that other moose meat, which I still have some of my inventory too. So we're plenty stinky at the moment. But if we have everything thawing out near the fire, the only other thing I need to be careful about is making sure that I keep going around and breaking down everything wooden that I can here. So that we can keep this fire going. Because there's no way that right now it's enough. Okay, there we go. 7 minutes till ready. I need that moose meat. I think what I need to do is just drop it right there. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Yep. Hopefully all of these are thawing out. Yeah, they're thawing out. Okay. 1 minute till ready. Eat. Thank you.
Surrounded by snow and nothing to drink.
It goes without saying, this is also going to be amazing for cooking skill. So that's nice. I'm going to go ahead and add that torch to the fire. Alright, that's everything from outside. So at this point, what I want to do, we don't need to keep the lantern lit, but we need to start breaking some things down. That light from the fire will be enough to do this. It'll take about 10 minutes here. That sounds like it's ready to go. Yep. Let's go ahead and drink that. And then get a second bit of meat cooking while we continue to break things down. There's still so much more that can be broken down for wood in here. Oh, they didn't fix it yet. Are you serious? Okay. Okay. Be positive. There's no reason to... Hinterland does a lot for their game, and they're working on BLACKFROST, but that interface bug, the fact that it's still there, see where the 1 of 2 is over the 100%? I remember commenting just a few episodes back, wondering if the hotfix that came out while the series was on pause there had fixed that. No. No. Hasn't fixed it. Unfortunately. Okay. So how much time exactly? 41, 22? All right. shelf. 1 hour. It's too long. Way too long. Need to find things that break down a little bit faster. All right, 49 minutes for the table, which works. Also, there's this reclaimed wood still there, which is nice. There's this chair here, which I think this is the most obvious choice to scrap right away. Beautiful. Now, of course, a lot of this is just going to go straight outside. I'm going to go ahead and get some water going in here. This is going to be ready in 2 minutes, so what we'll do is grab that, get another one cooking, and then I'll take a torch off the fire. I don't want to do that too often, for obvious reasons. But now we've got this table to break down as well. Alright, so any cooked meat that I don't need right now, we can just put outside. Any other obvious sources of wood that don't require a ton of time to break down? Not really. The chair is an obvious source of wood, but it would take 2 hours. These, I don't think... Hold on. Now I'm curious. If I take the fish mount and place it, it'll take 5 minutes and cost 19 calories. I'm curious. Does this give me wood? No, it gives me nothing. It just destroys it. And no, I am still trying to stay out of the habit of doing this to move around. Because it's totally something you can do now if you want to feel around in the dark. And it's not that it's bad, but for me, as a 10-year-long Dark player, looking up and seeing this, you know, it's part of the game. Like, you're supposed to see blackness. You're supposed to have trouble finding your way around in the dark. One thing that I hope they do is, we talked about this earlier in the series, but if they were to make the strength of the outlines proportionate to the natural light in the room, or the firelight in the room, then it would make sense. But the second there was no light, so like, for example, this fire is bright enough that things in the area can be broken down for wood, right? But if that weren't the case, if the fire went out, then, you know, you wouldn't be able to see the outlines. But because you can break things down for wood because the fire's that bright, then also that would be a reason to have the stuff just still be visible in the base management interface. It's a new system. I'm sure they'll refine it. 18 minutes till melted. What can I do in the meantime? Harvest. So we can take the knife and get a couple steaks from this one. Oh, interesting that it's so complete. Oh, I see why. The fire's down there in the bottom right corner. Alright, so that's cooked. Let's go ahead and cook another one. Meanwhile, I guess what I'll do is put anything that I haven't cooked in a pile here. We've got 6 hours on the fire. 41 minutes until that water's ready. Let's keep going then. 48 minutes to get 8 steaks out of this one. Let's do it. We're going to drink that and still have some water left. And now we can finally start cooking 2 at once. So let's do that. Oh, didn't mean to try to drop that. How much time do we have? It's midnight. So, oh, okay, so this is the last of this one. Just 1.8 pounds, not quite a full steak, but it's fine. As long as I make sure to use my knife every single time, we'll be pretty efficient here. All right, that one's cooked. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. All right, 58, 41, 5 minutes, 34 seconds on the fire. It is an indoor fire, so I'll have to be mindful of that. Okay, this one is not that big, so we're going to harvest the whole thing. That's good. So we've already made our way through 2 complete moose sacks. All right, 22 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm going to go put the cooked meat outside real quick while that finishes cooking. Nice. Listen to that sizzle. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and drop the animal fat like here. Since all those guts are already piled there. Alright, so this is cooked. Let's get another one going. Put that away. How much time do we have left on you? Just a few minutes, right? Yep, 9 minutes. So this will be interesting. Yeah, we're going to take 1 steak out of this one. And now we can actually see the fire while we harvest. That's nice. Because there's not actually daylight, we can't see the harvesting animation. It doesn't look like there's actually anything in front of the camera for this harvesting animation. It all happens kind of off the screen, which makes sense. Put that there. Now we have more time. How much time exactly, though? We've got 32, 57. Nice. So that's going to be 3 steaks out of this one. We're actually getting through the harvesting part faster than I thought, but that's because we thawed them. So that worked out. I do want to go ahead and eat while I'm doing this too. All right, 17 minutes, perfect. We're going to get 2 steaks out of this one. I'm going to let this episode go a little bit longer than I typically would, just because I don't want to have too much of the next one be devoted to this same thing. If you're newer to the channel, one thing I've always done with Against All Odds is I've never ever, regardless of access to software or ability to edit, I've never been really big on cutting out gameplay, even when it gets a little bit more repetitive. Because there are a lot of things that can happen kind of randomly while you're doing this. Plus, I've actually gotten feedback many, many times over the years that as much as there might be a lot of people who would prefer to have the edited content, there are a lot of people who prefer not to have edited content and not to have slices of the gameplay cut out. Because it's not just about watching, certainly not about watching perfect gameplay, right? Sometimes it's just about the experience of the particular story. Alright, so lots of cooked moose meat out here. We want to keep the cooked stuff outside. And if you hear that and you think, Hadrian, what are you talking about? You're playing sandbox mode, there isn't a story. Everything I play on my channel is kind of a sandbox style. It's an entire selection of sandbox style games where the focus is on emergent narratives. So no, there's not a literal story, but a story unfolds in every series, which is why I play and primarily why people watch. So that's why I edit my content, or rather don't edit the way that I do. Okay, so we got 9 minutes there. Let's go ahead and, yeah, we'll do the whole rest of this one. One of the moose steaks will be sitting cooked for a minute, but we'll be okay. All right, that takes care of that. 17 minutes left. Here's what we'll do. We'll drop that there. Drink this. Yeah, we're in good shape. Food and water-wise. All right, 14 minutes. Oh. Oh, interesting. This one is also just 4. So I'll harvest this too. So yeah, we're really plowing through this. It might make sense to see if I can take care of the rest of the quarters here. I might be able to, but I do need to start keeping an eye on the fire, because we don't have all the time in the world on this thing. We still have plenty of cooking to do. So let's drop that there. Thankfully, the sun will be coming up soon, so there's that at least. I'll be able to come outside and potentially find more fuel for said fire. There's some animal fat, which I will grab. All right, 20 minutes. Pretty tired too, which is another problem. However, that is not too difficult to rectify. Let's go ahead and drink a bit of coffee, and we'll get an energy boost from that. All right, this is pushing it a little bit. But after this, I think I really want to look for some more wood for this fire. Drop you there. Okay. I don't want to pull another torch. All right, we do have you. How long would you take to break down? 1 hour and 57 minutes. Wow. Hour 57. 49. Okay, that I can do. How long are these? Don't love that. Okay. Oh, grab some animal fat by mistake. That's fine. Let's put that there. And now we have, what, 1 hour, 3 minutes. This is not ideal, but it will at least keep the fire going for a bit longer while I try to manage this. So it's going to take 49 minutes. Again, it's an interior fire, so there's no shenaniganry to the timer. We have the amount of time left on the fire that it says we have left. I really do wish I had a bit more coal, but I did leave it at the place that was sensible to leave it. All right, there's a couple of cooked moose meat.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Let's put a few more on. Got some animal fat, which I'll drop downstairs. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're approaching the 45-minute mark for this episode. So, oh, hello. Stack of papers floating in midair. That's hilarious. There is still a bit more down here that I can break down, but not a lot. We're going to have to start looking for 49 minutes. That's actually better than I would have thought. Hold on. I just put those 2 fresh steaks on there. And there's plenty of time on the fire, right? Yeah. Okay, well that makes sense. Let's do that. But then we'll go ahead and call it quits for this episode. Ooh, we might not be able to break this down. Oh yeah, we can. Perfect. Because it's technically daylight now. Sun is starting to come up. We've literally been cooking this moose all night. But things will get a little bit easier to see shortly. Let's cook that. Cook that. All the cooking skill. Alright, 2 hours left on the fire. Still not great. So yeah, now we're going to go ahead and get a save. Well, I suppose what I could do, rather than having to go outside and come back in, I could just do that. And we'll treat that as our save point for now. And in the next one, we will get a little bit more fuel for the fire, finish harvesting these, and then just cook the remaining meat. Remember, the hide is already curing. The guts are already curing. That's a lot of guts, too. We also have a fresh wolf kill right outside that we can potentially get the guts and hide from. So there's plenty to do. Still a little bit of scavenging to do in Mystery Lake, but we can head to Milton while the moose hide's still curing, maybe even after the moose hide is complete. And then we head into far territory after that, which seemed to be the consensus in the comments when we were talking about where we go from Forlorn Muskeg once we're kind of done with Milton, done with Mystery Lake. So it's like straight to far territory, HRV a little bit later, which is where I was kind of inclined anyway. And it just seems like, especially now that we have this moose working in our favor, that's the direction we're going to take. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes will be arriving at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every other day, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.